you? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. How are you feeling this morning after watching the episode?
Oh my gosh, I feel like so much weight has lifted from me. I feel like for the past, I don't know, this has been like over a year sort of journey from like the application process to filming to the trailer to the episodes. And so many people ask me so many questions. So now it's all out there and I just kind of, yeah, it feels good.
Okay, that's good. That makes me feel good. Talk to me about tribal. You're going in there. What way did you think it was gonna go?
Yeah, so I mean, I went to tribal 3 times. I think you're referring to the one that I got voted out. Yeah.
Yes, the last
Um,
one.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but going to tribal 3 times in a row, it's like, my gosh, it's so like, who would have thought this was going to be on a disaster tribe? But for me, going into that tribal, I was so like hungry and tired and I didn't sleep. So I felt like I was like in a coma, but sleepwalking. And like, it was just so surreal. And then Jeff is standing in front of me. And so, how I thought the votes were going to go was I knew Sophie had flipped on me because there was a moment when she asked me what Alex and I were talking about. And I'm like, okay, she flipped on me. Alex and I never really talked about strategy. We connected more on like a friendship level. So, how I thought the votes were going to go was Sophie was going to vote for me. I was going to vote for Alex, and Alex voting for Sophie. And so I thought it was going to be like a three-way tie. I never thought Alex was going to play his idol because he was literally dangling it in our face and it felt like he was like very confident. So I didn't that I think that's what I was surprised most about. I also thought about like playing my shot in the dark, but then I got scared because if it was a tie between Alex and Sophie and I don't have a vote, then I would have gone home.
Yeah.
So it was just like one of those things, like it was a risk, and it's kind of like I wasn't blindsided. I had to be realistic about it. It could have been anyone, and so there's nowhere to hide when there's just 3 people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think the tribe, like, if you don't go to tribal for like a long time, whether it's the merge or do you think that's a benefit or it's actually like a detriment because you really have like you guys have already played this game, what, 5 days in so much?
No, I don't think so because you saw me go to tribal for the first time and I accidentally exposed that like Annie Nicole, like I was just being honest and I was so tired and hungry and not sleeping. And that was day 3. Like and like I survived another like tribal council. So I don't think it's like one of those things where you kind of get more experience. I think for me at least, I kind of shut down a little bit more at tribal because I've been so many times. So I don't really think that that's an
Mm.
advantage because Jeff's the questions that he asks are such like a curveball and he asks so many questions that it could be going in so many different ways. So I don't think it's an advantage.
Okay. Yeah, I always wonder. Did you consider changing your vote to Sophie?
Alex and I never talk strategy ever. We
So
connected
it's
more on a friendship level. If I would have like, I did campaign against Sophie because that's what you're supposed to do, but Sophie was just somebody who I worked with the whole game. And so it it makes sense why she voted against me because Alex played his idol. So I was going to
yeah.
go home regardless.
Do you think the spying helped push her to go with Alex over you?
No, because I think when like of course I'm going to be talking about Sophie to Alex and be
Yeah.
like, I'm voting with you, Alex, I'm voting Sophie out because of X, Y, and Z. So I mean, she's a menace for being a jungle menace. Like, do you know what I mean? But I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like at the end of the day, you were a good sport about it. Like, were you hurt at all after that tribal in terms of like Sophie or anything?
I was not hurt. Alex played his idol. There was nothing. If she would have voted with me, then I was still going home, like, regardless. And then, honestly, like, we stuck to 4. Our plan was always 4. And so it was just one of those things. We're playing a game. It sucks. I was on a disaster tribe. It is what it is at this time. Like,
Yeah.
that's my survivor story.
Yeah, you guys seemed so like even when you went to the challenge, I was just like I don't know, I just felt like you guys were like so demoralized at that point.
Girl, like literally people were eating crabs and snails and everything. Like I was eating worms and coconuts and like we didn't even have fire. Like it was so Jake snored like constantly all night long. We slept on the beach. Like we're
Oh my
just
God.
disaster.
I
Yeah.
forgot about the worm situation. That was
So, yeah, and so it is what it is.
Talk to me about the Jake situation because it seemed like it just escalated really quickly. Like, how quickly did you get to the beach and kind of understand what was happening?
Yeah, so Alex and I were in the shelter. I was taking a nap. It was like the one time that I got like some sleep. And then I
Of
hear
course.
like I hear Jake say, "Guys, come down." So like we run down. Sophie's out for a walk and he's like, "I think I got bit by a snake." And then we saw the bite marks. And then we were just kind of like then Alex went to go look at the book and then found out that it was like a venomous snake. And then yeah, it was just awful to see somebody go through that when it's like a dream. Like we're playing a game, but then there's so many moments that make Survivor like we're humans, and you would just never want that to happen to somebody. This it's just not. It's a game. It shouldn't be life threatening. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty scary for him. I
When
felt
you
bad.
guys were back at camp, were you playing out the worst case scenario? Like, did you think he was going to come back or?
So I thought he was going to come back, and I just don't know if that's sort of like my happy-go-lucky type of personality. Sophie's just sort of like he got bit by a snake on his foot, and I'm like, she's like, how's he going to compete? Alex is like, well, that's a really poisonous snake, and I'm like, okay. I mean, we're going through hell, so let's just be positive, and like, I think he's coming back. I maybe I just needed to tell myself that to get through. I don't know.
Yeah. How much do people really read that book? Like, is it something you just use as a reference just in case, or is it something people study before they play or whatever?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I think I only looked at it once, and I think it was just sort of like to see what type of foods that were poisonous so that I didn't eat them. And then there's also like different types of fish, but we didn't have fishing gear. And then there was that's where I saw the earthworms and that they're a high
Oh,
source of protein. And so that's why I started my worm farming sort of thing, and eating them. And so I don't, yeah. And we also get that book pregame too, but it's on hand to kind of reference.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you guys didn't have fire. You had it rough out there. What was it? 6 days you were
Yeah,
there?
6 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much were you eating and sleeping? Yeah, was it really dire in terms of just like conditions? And also it was so
Well,
hot, I heard.
so yeah, my biggest fear is like not eating. And so I eat like 6 days a meal in real life. I eat like the same time every day. I stopped working out. I gained 10 pounds just because I was so concerned about being starving out there. And it was funny because none of the other tribe members were worried about food. You have Jake
Mm.
doing his own thing, Annie who built our shelter. And we were just had all different priorities. So I was so concerned about food. And we're not sleeping. We slept on the beach. The little crabs were crawling on, like biting your ankles at nighttime. You can't sleep. It's so cold. It's so hot out. Like you honestly have brain fog. I love comfort. I love routine. I love this winter. So for me to go on Survivor is just like, what am I doing?
You sound
But
like me. That's
oh,
like
okay. Are you?
how
I'm a Taurus. What are you?
a Leo, but
Oh, a July or August Leo?
July.
Oh, I love July Leos. You're the
Are you
softest.
lying? Okay.
If you're an August Leo, July Leos
Okay.
are soft and kind. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, that makes me feel better. Did you play the what if game? Like, okay, what if Jake didn't go home and all that stuff?
I try not to play the what if game because like I just don't know. But in my mind, I knew Sophie was really close with Jake and I knew that it was game and I know that she's a gamer and she had him wrapped around her finger. And so in my mind, I thought that that Sophie would have been able to convince Alex Sophie would have been able to convince Jake to vote Alex out because you even saw she didn't want him to have, that bromance. So it would be in Sophie's best interest to have me and Jake. And so that was sort of like how I was sort of like thinking and seeing it playing out. I just don't know if Alex would have played his idol. And
Right.
so I don't know.
Yeah, we saw you call Alex Jake. I mean, obviously you guys haven't eaten or was it just brain fog? Like was
I
it
mean, I
tapping
just
with the
called
old?
Jake and Alex right now. I got
Yeah,
their names.
that's why I was like, "Oh, I mean, it
So
happens."
yeah, it always happens. And part of me for like being at tribal is because like I just give answers and then I just tell the truth. So for me at tribal, I had to be stone faced and not give away too much, but then I couldn't because I was so hungry and I couldn't concentrate. And there's a moment where like I even forgot that I was voting Nicole out and that like it was just like for me it was like yeah, I thought I was voting out and I just got confused and I think that's those are the elements.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Jake, what was your reaction when you saw that he was hiding shoes?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I I don't know. I knew that, Nicole was going home and Annie were going home. I never wanted somebody to make feel that they were on the outs because I just didn't want to kick people when they were down. And like, why are you adding that extra element to it? And so for me, I wanted to treat people with kindness and like have a good time with people opposed to like, I don't know. I just don't. And like that was like kind of like weakening our tribe. Like we're supposed to be working together. So, I mean, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, okay. Had you lasted a little longer, did you have a strategy going into a swap situation? What you
I
wanted to
did,
do?
yeah. And I honestly was so committed to like working with Sophie. She's somebody who I saw identified very quickly that she's like a fighter and she is somebody that like I did trust. And then Christina was somebody who like I connected like pregame with. Like I just, her energy, her and I just like, she's like mother to me. And then Nate was somebody that I wanted to work with too, but he would never make eye contact with me at pregame. And I'm like, ugh. But like, so those were kind of like the three that I was trying to go for. Yeah.
Okay. What surprised you about playing the game versus watching it? Because I know you're a fan.
Oh my God. What the thing that surprised me was actually there's just the Survivor team is just like really professional and they just treat us like with like so much respect and like we are playing a game, but we are humans and I feel like really do see us as humans. I think also hearing from like the us castaways and watching it on myself, I feel like they really captured like my personality like perfectly. I mean, they used my laugh against Annie, but like whatever, which I don't I love Annie, but I think they do a really good job at character development, which is like so cool because like that's who I am on TV in person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Was there anything that you remember from like your time out there that you wish they had shown?
I had a lot of fun with everybody out there. There's so many fun moments. I slept beside Nicole every night. We counted to 100 backwards every night. Annie and I could not stop laughing. Sophie and I would have like meaningful conversations. Jake and I were just a mess. Alex and I laughed a lot. I think because we were going to tribal, I like every single tribal, I'd lay out all my clothes and figure out like what I was wearing. And then like Alex would look at me and be like, bro, like, what are you doing? Sophie was like rolling her eyes. Annie thought it was so funny. So I don't know. I was like, I don't want to wear the same thing going to tribal each time. So,
Yeah. Jeremiah, you were super fun to watch. I was bummed to see you go out. Would you
yeah.
ever go through this again? Or are you interested in playing again?
Oh my gosh. You know what? For me, Survivor was like, I'm so honored and I'm so thankful for it. And so if Jeff was to call me and be like come back, like how could you not say no?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so thankful for like my opportunity and like it was everything that I wanted it to be and more and like it was just so cool. So playing it one time for me is just so magical. And yeah, my dreams came true. 24 years I wanted to play this game.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you got to, even though it didn't work out maybe how we wanted it. But yeah, it was so nice chatting with you today.
Thanks, friend. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Talk to you later. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.